On this week's 5 Films, I welcome Matt Humphris to the store. Matt is an ambitious young filmmaker from St Helens, and even with the track of 40, 45, 50 minutes to Snips Movies, he still manages to pop in every few weeks to rent a few films. Remarkable. Check out his picks.
So my first film is Happiness, directed by Todd Solondz. This was one of the first 3 films I ever rented out at Snips. It was one I was sort of quite put off by for several reasons. Like everyone I'd ever spoke to about it said it's destined to make me unhappy, which is quite ironic because it's called Happiness anyway. It's about sort of a group of unconnected people in an ensemble, starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's a brilliant, brilliant actor, and they're all people looking for, human connection, togetherness, and sort of what the film's trying to say is that everyone, no matter the moral compass or the thoughts on life, whatever, they all sort of want to be loved. And it's a really interesting concept, and it really makes you double check whether you are insane yourself, because there are times where you laugh at places where you think I shouldn't be laughing here, and it really does something to you as an audience member. Todd Solondz said in an interview that you need to sort of trick your audience, and the whole setup seems very much like like a '90s American sitcom, and then slowly you sort of see unravel the dysfunction in everyday life and American suburban existence. So yeah, this is one you really should watch. It's one people don't really gravitate towards, but it's a very clever film. So my second film is After Hours by Martin Scorsese. It's one of his, I'd say, less appreciated works because, when people first start getting into Scorsese's work, they gravitate towards Goodfellas, Raging Bull, Wolf of Wall Street, all the sort of more popular stuff. But this falls under the radar, I think. But it's absolutely brilliant. Camera work is incredible, colors, with the acting. Um, it sort of has like a hypnotic brilliance to it. The whole idea behind the film is that a man is simply trying to get home, and for the whole thing, you never really know where it's going to go next, and it shocks you and surprises you all the way to the end, and then once it's finished, you sort of think, "What the hell have I just watched?" But it's absolutely brilliant. It's his best, in my opinion. Some may disagree, but I think it's an absolute masterpiece. So if you haven't watched After Hours, please do. So my third film is Hugo, my second Scorsese of the list. It's a film that I recommend to people who haven't really been interested in cinema before, because it's I watched it as a child, and it sort of opened my eyes to parts of cinema that I'd not been, you know, told about at all. It's about this young boy who lives in a train station, and he wants to find out the secret behind his father's death. And through doing that, he also discovers a whole generation of cinema that sort of entrances him. It's really magical. It really reminds you of why we watch films, and sort of the escapism and the joy we actually get from watching films and being transported to another world. And it's one that not so many people go to, like After Hours in Martin Scorsese's filmography, but I think it's something really special, and it's special to me because it's one of those films that inspires me and continues to inspire me in my work and life. So there's that one. So for my fourth film, we've got I, Daniel Blake, directed by Ken Loach, one of the greatest filmmakers of our generation and also of Britain as a whole. He sort of sits on this pedestal with the likes of Mike Leigh, who I'm also a big fan of, and the directors who are, predominantly interested by truth and uncovering truth behind, you know, people and ordinary people. Like there's nothing magical about these films. There's nothing that will surprise you. It's very deep rooted in real life, and it's sort of when you watch these films, you sort of get transported to your own life and your own experiences and your own existence. And while he's looking for truth, he sort of finds the joy in the mundane and the joy in, normality, and it's something really special. And this film really reminds you about how important togetherness is and how important community is, and it's a really special film, and one that if you haven't seen it, you'll really appreciate it. I'm 100% sure of that. So this is Seconds, directed by John Frankenheimer, who isn't the most well-known director, but he may have done. There's a film called Ronin with Robert De Niro that you might have seen. He directed that also. This is one of those underrated gems that not many people have seen, but more people should see. It's the best film about desire and about longing that you'll probably be able to find, with brilliant black and white cinematography. Um, it's dizzying. It's hypnotic. It's it's one of those films that shocks you on a first watch because it's way ahead of its time. It exists in a world where it could very well be in our sort of reality, but it's just a step further, and it's nightmarish at times, and the ending will really get you. But this is part of the Masters of Cinema collection, so if you're, you know, looking to expand your knowledge and go into these, this is one to pick up, definitely.